So the Oticon Intent is a great hearing aid. However, there's always been something missing from it. And brilliantly, the new Oticon Verit fills that void. But sadly, with the launch of this new technology, it looks like Oticon have given with one hand and taken away with the other. So today I'm going to explain all you need to know about the new Oticon Verit family of hearing aids. Yes, I said family because there are in fact 3 brand new hearing aids. I'll run through if they're suitable for you, which Oticon Intent features they're keeping, along with crucially which ones they're not. And I'll also explain the buyers who should absolutely choose the Oticon Verit over their Intent model. And for anybody new here, my name's Matthew and I run one of the largest independent hearing clinics in the UK. And because we're independent, it means I fit hearing aid technology from every single manufacturer. So I get to share all of my clinical experience with you online every week. And if you like the sound of that, then click the subscribe button somewhere down here. Now, to properly understand Verit, we need to rewind back to 2024, and I'll keep this brief. This is when the Oticon Intent was initially launched, which came as a single model in an entirely new platform. And with a brand new chip called Sirius, this was the first chip we've seen from Oticon for a couple of generations. And this included 3 new features around better speech understanding in noise, which is the holy grail for anybody with hearing loss. The first of those new features was Oticon's DNN 2.0. Now, for the last few generations of hearing aids, Oticon have used artificial intelligence trained on millions of sound scenes to help the hearing aids recognise the environment around you and to prioritise the sounds that you're most likely to want to hear. With DNN 2.0, that system has been further refined using an even broader range of sound environments, helping to deliver clearer speech and more accurate listening experiences wherever you go. Working alongside that is More Sound Intelligence 3.0, which is Oticon's most advanced noise management system to date. It continually scans your environment and uses the DNN training to organise sound in real time, bringing speech and important sounds forwards whilst reducing the sounds and the background noises that you don't want to hear. Now, Oticon state that this can provide up to 12 decibels, which is massive, of noise suppression and give you access to 35% more speech cues, which should mean clearer conversations in groups, crowds and noisy listening situations. And then, without question, the hero feature of the Oticon Intents was their brand new 4D sensor technology, which uses conversational activity, head movement, body movement and environmental data to help your hearing aids to understand when your listening needs change and then automatically adjust the settings in real time. So, these 3 new features, along with Oticon's strong foundations, meant that this was without question the best technology that we've ever seen from Oticon. So, the big question is, what's new and what's been stripped away in the Oticon Verit? Well, these are the new models available, starting with the Verit Mini Right T, the Verit Mini BTE T85 and the BTE T105. With Oticon covering all bases with 1 receiver in canal model, 1 standard BTE and 1 power BTE, all with built-in telecoils and Auracast ready connectivity depending on compatible devices. And the big news is that they all use disposable batteries rather than being rechargeable, just like the Oticon Intent. Now, while I'm on the subject, I have a quick question for you. Would you ever go back to disposable batteries, or do you think rechargeable batteries are the future? I'd love you to add your thoughts in the comments beneath today's video. So as a result, they have reverted back to the previous hearing aid style that we saw with both the Oticon Real and the Oticon More. So the Oticon Verit family is essentially a new premium disposable battery hearing aid family designed for people who want modern flagship level sound but do not want rechargeable technology. However, there's a catch. In my opinion, and I have not had this confirmed, there is a valid reason that Oticon have not carried over the Intent name to this family of hearing aids. Because whilst Verit keeps the Sirius chip, DNN 2.0 and More Sound Intelligence 3.0, it appears to have lost the motion-based intelligence that made Intent such an interesting step forward in terms of technology, with absolutely no sign of those 4D sensors that I was talking about earlier. So whilst they've brought back battery-powered hearing aids, they appear to have left behind one of the most exciting features on that platform. So this raises a very fair question. Is this really an Oticon Intent hearing aid with batteries? I don't think so. It's more of a simplified version of that technology designed for a different type of buyer. So let's see which type of buyer you are. So you may well be sat there thinking, should I buy the Oticon Verit hearing aid? Well, let me make this simple for you. Yes, I would say so if you're an existing battery hearing aid user and you don't want rechargeable technology. Or if you travel a lot, for example, and you don't want to worry about carrying your charger with you. Or even if you're slightly concerned about reliability of batteries and rechargeable batteries. However, I will caveat this by saying that rechargeable hearing aids are indeed pretty reliable these days. However, at the same time, I would recommend looking at the Oticon Intent instead if you like rechargeable technology, or if you struggle to hear in background noise and you want the most advanced Oticon platform available today. So my honest take is I think that Verit is indeed a smart launch from Oticon because not everybody wants rechargeable hearing aids. However, there is definitely a gap in the functionality, and personally, if I'm fitting somebody with a hearing aid, I would far prefer to have every single feature at my fingertips. I've got a question for you. What do you think? Would you happily sacrifice some functions for disposable batteries? Let me know in the comments beneath this video. And before you spend thousands on these hearing aids, do not choose anything until you've watched this video highlighting the best hearing aids of this year.